What's up guys, English Dan back with another video. First time with the channel, make sure you smack that subscribe button, like subbed Dan, subbed, and hit the like button. If you don't like what you see, give me a dislike. It's all good, that way I know whether you like what you see or you don't. So what have I got for you today? Well, the thumbnail probably gave it away, but it's my 1 week review of the Pixel 6 Pro. Let me tell you, I've been enjoying this. What's up guys, welcome back. So, this is the Pixel 6 Pro. Sorry, my light's reflecting on it because Google went with a glossy back. There's a nitpick of mine straight away. I wish they went with a matte back. But still, it looks good, but yeah, it is glossy. But being cloud white, it also isn't a fingerprint magnet. But we'll get more onto that in a little while. So yeah, this is the Pixel 6 Pro. I received this. I'm a part of Team Pixel, if you didn't know. So what happens, Google send these out to us guys when the phone is made available for pre-order, and then we can test them out and let them know about any bugs or anything like that. And then we get to let you know what the phone's like in the time period from pre-order to release. Well, I didn't want to rush my review out. I've seen quite a few people trying to, the embargo was up on Monday and people were rushing to get these review videos out and battery tests and things like that. And I didn't want to do that. And I'm glad I didn't do that, because some of these battery tests that you've seen, they ain't telling the truth. Because the battery on this takes about 5 days to get used to how you use your phone. Well, let me tell you, it's a dramatic difference. But anyway, let's go over the specs real quick. I'm not going to go into a deep dive into the specs. Obviously, we've got the new Google Tensor chip. That's the big thing. I believe it's made by Samsung, but it's been developed by Google, and they've added their Titan M2 chip and their AI chips. And, they've just Googleized the hell out of it. You know what Google are like. They're massive when it comes to software, and they've done it with this, basically. 12 gig of RAM in the Pixel 6 Pro. 120 Hz LPTO display, 6.7 inches. LPTO means it can go down all the way to 10 Hz and all the way up to 120 Hz. This way it keeps the battery life doing pretty well, to be honest. But I'll get more on the battery in a little while. New camera setup, 50 megapixel main. Then you got the 4x zoom telescope. Is that what they call it? Telescopic camera. And then they have the wide angle camera. Wish it was a little wider. It's only 107 degrees, so it's not the widest, but it's got it on there. And then on the front, we got a 12 megapixel selfie camera, if I believe. Yes. Whereas the Pixel 6 only has an 8 megapixel, if I'm right. So yeah, few upgrades when it comes to the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. Also USB-C charging, wireless charging, no headphone jack. But yeah, whatever, we're used to that. No SD, it's a Google device. They never do have SD support. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of the specs. I'll post them up while I'm talking so you can see stuff a little bit more in depth. But yeah, that's the specs out of the way. So let's talk about this phone. This is the first true high-end flagship Google have done since the Pixel 4 XL. And the Pixel 4 XL was a pretty good phone, but it did have some battery issues when it first came out. And it also had that funky infrared camera on the front that you could do the wave your hand in front of it, and that didn't really work very well. And it had face unlock. Well, they've got rid of that. This doesn't have that. This is a full screen display now with a hole punch camera in the center at the top. Now, one thing I do miss about that infrared system that they had on here was the fact that you had face unlock. Google have totally got rid of face unlock altogether, and I wish that they would put it in there. I know they're all about security, and regular camera, when it comes to face unlock, isn't secure as such, but I'd still like it to be an option and be something that I can choose myself. But Google have gone the other way. But there's a good reason why I wish it had face unlock as well, but I'll get more onto it without that in a little while. Has an inbuilt fingerprint sensor on the screen, so it's an optical. It's not like Samsung's. It's an optical one like you get on the OnePlus 9 and things like that. So that's there this time. No fingerprint sensor on the back, which is a shame because I've been rocking the 4A, the 4A 5G, and the 5A 5G, and the they returned to the fingerprint sensor on the back of the device, and it was actually really quick and really good. And I realized how much I missed it, especially when you pull the phone out of the pocket, your finger just rests on the back of the phone where the fingerprint sensor is, bang, it was ready to go, no problem. So I did like that. I know some people say, well, you have to pick the phone up off the table to use the rear fingerprint sensor. But if you had face unlock, you wouldn't have to. But anyway, blah, 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 blah. I do miss the rear fingerprint sensor, and I'll get more onto the in-screen fingerprint sensor shortly. Also, this is the 128 gig version. In Cloud White, you can get it as 128 and 256. In Stormy Black, you can get 128, 256, and 512. And in Sword of Sunny, you can get just 128 gigs. So different size variants for the different colors. A little odd, but I can kind of understand it because black and white phones are probably going to be the more popular sellers. The Sword of Sunny, I can understand, is probably not going to sell as much, but whatever. Storage is UFS 3.1 as well, so when I tell you this phone is fast, this phone is fast. Faster than Fat Boy eating a beef burger. Let me tell you, or hamburger as they call it over here. But either way, faster than Fat Boy at an all-you-can-eat buffet. No doubt about it. Anyway, we'll get more onto performance in a very quick while. So let's talk about build quality. Straight out the gate, I'm just going to say this. This phone reminds me of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. It just does. I think it looks great. There's nothing wrong with it looking like the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I think that was pretty much peak Galaxy. And the only reason I say it looks like that is from the front, the very small bezels at the top and the bottom are very much like the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and the camera placement being in the center, it just looks that way. And that, like I say, isn't a bad thing. It's a very good looking phone. It has Gorilla Glass 6 or Victus on the front and the back. Now, what I will say about Gorilla Glass 6, and I've had this on other devices, it's more shatterproof, but it's more prone to scratches. The glass must be softer, so it won't shatter. I'd rather have gone back to Gorilla Glass 5, where it was more scratch resistant and, you know, shattered easier, because chances are there's more chance of you scratching your phone than there is of you actually dropping it. But whatever, it's the latest and greatest, and Google have gone with it, and so does everybody else. You can't blame them. There it is. It helps with being shatterproof. I'm not going to do a drop test to see how good it is, because I love my Pixel 6 Pro. No. As you can see, it has this visor on the back. This thing looks like RoboCop. If this phone was silver, I'd be looking at it and it'd be going, your move, creep. There's just no doubt about it. It looks like RoboCop. It actually looks like the Nexus 6P, which for me was peak Nexus. This is like the spiritual successor to the Nexus 6P. And the fact that it's called the Pixel 6 Pro, so 6P, you know, it's just, did they do it on purpose? Maybe. But yeah, that's what it does remind me of from the back. It's like a updated Nexus 6P, which is a good thing, because I thought that looked great. And that was, for me, probably the best Nexus phone they actually made. Just like this is the best Pixel they've actually made. Isn't that funny? Anyway, back to talking about the hardware. Stainless steel around the side on the 6 Pro. Shiny, whatever. Looks good. It's a very classy looking phone. Now, in a lot of the photos and on the box, this is the cloudy white, like I'll say. It shows a darker gray strip on the top here, and as you can see on my phone, some people can't even tell the difference. I can if I hold it up to it very slightly. You know, it's very slightly different color. On some of my product shots, you'll be able to see it's more pronounced from different angles, but it's nowhere near as gray as what it looks like on the product shots or on the box. So be aware of that. Cloudy white is very much our white phone. It's not got that dark gray band up on the top like you would expect. I'm quite happy about that. I like the way that it's all white on the back. So yeah, not a problem with me. But I just wanted to make you guys aware, so when you open the box, you didn't go, this isn't what I thought it was. Well, it is, because I've just told you. Now, some people are saying, oh, I don't like the look of this, but I think this looks really good. It's very, very good looking device for me. Google have gone and done something different. Instead of putting the corner camera, you know, with a big bump on there, they've just gone for the visor across the back. And the good thing about the visor across the back is when you lay the phone down, it doesn't rock. It stays. It's a sturdy, stay put device when it's on its back. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, that's just stupid. You hardly have the phone on the back. Well, I do a lot at work, and I like to, you know, use my fat paws to press on it. And when it's a phone that does do, 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 it grinds my moobs. I said moobs because I'm fat. All right, shut up talking about the build and what's on the phone and how it looks. Let's talk about using the Pixel 6 Pro. So using it every day, like I was saying before, it's fast. I mean, it is so quick, this phone. It does not lag whatsoever going through any of the menus, going through apps, going through settings, opening and closing apps. Everything is just so quick. It's so fast and responsive. It's just great. It's like Google have really nailed it when it comes to the speed on this thing. And they were harping on about that in the actual announcement, that, you know, benchmarks aren't always everything. And I've not benchmarked this. I'm past benchmarks. Benchmarks were 10 years ago when everybody cared that, oh, I've got 2,000 extra points on my Geekbench. Oh, yeah? And what's that going to do for you? Not a damn thing. But yeah, when it comes to benchmarks, I've not done them. Don't care. This thing plays games, no problem. Call of Duty Mobile, Fortnite. Fortnite. You can only play it on Android now if you're a mobile gamer. And then any other game like the racing game from EA Sports. It slips my mind now, but you can play that on this and you get no frame drops or anything like that. It works really, really well. And like I say, going through the UI, great. Go through YouTube. YouTube runs at 120 hertz a second, so it goes through there really smooth, whereas like on the OnePlus 9, if I remember rightly, that ran at 60 hertz, so it was quite jarring going from the 120 to the 60 when you opened up the YouTube app. Not with this. Does have an always-on display, if you can see it, because of my light. But yeah, and I do like the always-on display, and when you touch it, it does bold up all the text on there, so it makes it very much easier to see. Do like that. Also shows you the fingerprint scanner or fingerprint sensor, whatever you want to call it. It makes it nice and easy so you know where to aim. Now, first bug or first thing I don't like about it is this fingerprint sensor. Google need to work on this and maybe send out a couple of updates to fix this thing, because it's not the quickest. Let me try and show you. It really isn't the quickest, and it's not the most accurate for my fat paws. Now I'm going to show you. It's probably going to work every time, but I have had a system update today for the November security patch, and you're going to get it as soon as you get yours. And lo and behold, look at that. It's working every time. So maybe they have adjusted the fingerprint sensor, because before I could sometimes hit it 4 or 5 times and it wouldn't register and it would go to me put the PIN code in. So maybe they have fixed that, but just know that before then I was having issues with the fingerprint sensor, but today it seems to be behaving. So I've only just got the update as well as I started doing the video. So maybe, like I say, they have actually gone ahead and done something with that. So, hey, maybe I'm just having a good night. Maybe there is still a problem. I'll let you know when I do a future review on this phone as well, after using it for a little longer. But anyway, let's get that out of the way. Thanks for embarrassing me, dude. Audio out the speakers. Got stereo speakers on this, one at the top, one at the bottom, and it sounds pretty good. And give me 1 second, I'll let you hear what it's like. So here we're on like half volume. This is Bass Rebels. Let's forward it. Voices are really clear, and it does have some depth in there. Now let's turn it up on full for you. We'll let it drop and then we'll move on. I love this song. See? That sounds good. I'm impressed with the sound quality of the speakers. Also, because the speakers are good and because you've got a good display on here, it's really good for watching movies and media. I'll show you that too. I'm not going to show you Maleficent like I normally do. Let me turn the sound on this so we don't get a copyright strike. Here's Creed. So this is the trailer playing for Creed. And let's turn that brightness up so you get full effect. There you go. So this is Creed. Really sharp. Look at the blacks, wonderful blacks. Obviously, with it being an OLED display, really bright with the HDR. It just looks really good. You can see that the phone is trying to capture Michael Jordan. Well, you can't see it. I can only see it from here. My camera's putting squares around Michael Jordan. But yeah, when it comes to using this device for watching movies and watching YouTube, it's fantastic. I like it. Sorry it's a bit blurry. It's actually autofocus tracking on my face. I'm trying to put it all the way back, but I don't want to block anything off. But yeah, it's very, very good when it comes to media consumption. I really do enjoy watching YouTube and things like that on this. And I would have no problem watching a movie if I was on a plane or something on this display. It looks great. So good job, Google, on the display. No more Pixel 2 XL problems where LG made a screen and it was dumpster fire. So let's talk about what you want to know about. Everybody knows that the Pixel is an absolute monster when it comes to photography. This one is no different. So obviously you got the new camera setup on the back there. Like I was saying, it's got a 50 megapixel new sensor, 107-degree wide angle, and the 4x telescopic camera, and they work really well, really, really well. So when it comes to taking portraits, just as always, they take the best portraits. In daylight, good lighting, these things are just great. Now, what they don't have, the blur behind the person when you do the portrait, like on some other phones, it'll be a gradual blur. On the Pixel, it's more of just a blur that's there. And some people like it, some people don't. Some people say it looks too artificial. I actually quite like it because I think the cutout that it does of the person is prominent and it just looks really classy. In my eyes, it does. When I take pictures of my son, which I'll just keep throwing up while I'm talking about it, I just think it looks really good. Also, the colors look fantastic on the actual camera when it takes the photographs. As you can see, the blue skies and the color of the playground and things like that look really good. And then it does have this new mode that's called Action Pan. Action pan. So what this is, I'll throw the picture up there of the before and after. So you take a picture of, say, like a car. I took a picture of this yellow truck coming down the road, and what it does, it keeps the truck in focus, but it kind of blurs everything in the background so you can see that this truck is in motion. It just looks really good. And then it also has another mode in there that does the opposite, so it'd keep the background and everything nice and clear, but the vehicle will actually be blurred, so it looks like it's going really fast. And then you've got your usual stuff when it comes to that, you know, your long exposure for nighttime shots when you want to look at the stars and things like that. Everything's in there, and it really does do a good job. It blows away any other device when it comes to astrology. I haven't got any astrology photos to show you, but it does do a really good job. Now, when it comes to video, I'll stop talking here and I'll play some for you. So this is 1080-30. It also does 1080-60, but this video is going to be in 30 frames a second, so can't really do anything about that. But again, decent stabilization, good colors. I think it looks really good. And Pixel have really improved the camera. Like I say, this is the selfie camera. So let's get onto the rear camera, shall we? Alright, this is 1080-30 on the rear camera. Again, good colors. I think it does a pretty good job with stabilization. Everything's nice and bright. Everything just looks good. It's a major improvement when it comes to the Google Pixel camera. They've always been great for photography, but video's always been a bit so. Okay, so as you can see, I think the video is much improved. Is it the best video you can get on a camera? No, I still think the iPhone might own that. But in certain situations, this does do a better job. It doesn't crush the blacks anywhere near as much as what the iPhone does, and it keeps details when it comes to the shadows, which is really impressive. The iPhone does have problems with HDR sometimes. The Pixel doesn't, but then there's times where, especially low light, I think the iPhone beats out the Pixel. The Pixel seems to struggle a little bit in low light, and the same in photography as well. As soon as it starts to go dim, there's quite a lot of noise comes into the Pixel pictures, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure it's new hardware. Like I said, over time, given a little bit of time, Google are on that camera. You know, they always have been, and I'm sure that's going to improve as the weeks and months go by. So I'm not too concerned about that right now, but just be aware out of the box, once you've done your day one update, you may get this noise when you're taking low light photographs. Problem? Could be for some, not for others. Not for me personally, because I take my photographs in decent daylight or with lighting, but just so you know. So yeah, overall the camera is really, really good. I really enjoy using the camera. Pixel's known for it, and it is still top dog for photography. That's over the S21 Ultra, which was my favorite Android phone ever before this. It's over the iPhone 13 Pro Max and the 13 regular. Photography-wise, it owns. Video-wise, it's on a par with the Samsung, I think. And it's almost as good as the iPhone. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. So, yeah, that's the camera. Take of that what you will. So let's talk about battery life. So, like I said, some people rush to get their baddie. Let's compare the battery to all these phones on the Monday. Oh, the battery's just not that good. It's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery and it ain't great. You know why it ain't great? Because you didn't give it time to learn what your fat butt is going to do with the phone. So I have been sat here using the Pixel thinking, God, it's going through the battery really, really fast. I'm a little concerned. That was the first day, second day, third day. The fifth day or sixth day, I took it off the charger and I got to about lunchtime and I looked at the phone and it was the only, I carry two phones. So I carry an iPhone and an Android, I just do. And one's business, one's personal, blah, blah, whatever. But normally, I wouldn't notice battery being an issue on either device because I use them both the same. So it is what it is. But for a couple of days, the Pixel 6 Pro was my only device. And then I'm pretty sure it was the Tuesday. So yesterday, I got to lunchtime and I thought, I'm just going to glance at the battery, don't know why. And it had hardly moved. So after 6 days of using this, I'd gone 6 hours and it had used 22%. As my only device, and I've been using it all morning, listening to music, watching YouTube, Twitter, looking at my YouTube stats on YouTube Studio, things like that. The battery on this thing is actually really good. I've been getting around 7 hours screen on time out of this, which for a device that's pretty much first gen for this Pixel, this kind of Pixel with the new chip, is really good. I'm really impressed with it. I'm getting plenty of battery life out of it. I'm getting about 2.5 to 3 hours more out of this than it was my S21 Ultra. So that should tell you that the battery in this is pretty damn good. I can go all day with this, go to bed without it needing to be topped up. So just give it a few days. If your battery's like, it doesn't seem very good, give it a few days, 6 to 7 days, 5 at least, and then you'll see the difference. It really does flex when it kicks in and gets to know how you're using your device. So battery is really good. Don't believe these other videos where they've rushed them out, because that's what they've done. They've rushed them out for views, and that sucks. So yeah, overall, as you can tell, I really like the Pixel. It is by far the best Pixel they've ever released. There's no doubt about it. It's a wonderful device. It's really well built, really premium. Great set of cameras on there that are only going to get better, I imagine. As you can see, I had a problem with the fingerprint sensor, but it embarrassed me when I was telling you about that because there was an update tonight and it worked every time. Audio-wise, sound coming out of this thing sounds good, as I've shown you. Movies look great coming out of this display. It's just a really, really good device. I actually love the Pixel. Not had the Pixel 6 yet. I'm going to try and get the Pixel 6 so I can do a comparison with you. I do have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. If you want to see me do a comparison, you know, head to head, I know there's going to be plenty of them out there, but if you want to see the fat boy do it, I'm just not going to pull any punches. If the iPhone's better at something, I'm going to tell you. If this is better than something, I'm going to tell you. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you want to see that. I have no problem doing a video where it's Pixel 6 Pro versus the iPhone 13 Pro Max. That's probably the biggest competition to this device. I always say that iPhones and Androids are two totally different devices. Somebody wants an iPhone is going to buy an iPhone. Somebody wants an Android is going to buy an Android. But these are the two big dogs in the market right now. Most hype around them. So yeah, I don't mind doing that kind of video. So yeah, overall, love the Pixel 6 Pro. Think it's a fantastic device. A couple of little niggles here and there, like I say, with the camera, but I'm sure it'll be fixed. Love it. You're going to love it. If you pre-ordered one, enjoy opening it and using it today. If you're getting it later, well, I hope this video gets you excited. And if you've already got yours and you're having any issues or you like it, let me know. Talk to me down in the comments. All right, guys, this is English Dan signing out. Catch you in the next one.